Just so you know, I know nothing at all about this microphone system. I have never used it. So I got Chuck to help me.
I've got Tim to help.
We got Tim to help me. Yeah, I'm with Chuck. I mean, like, okay, so we're going to start with a roll call. Sandy, please.
Here. Here.
Present. Wonderful. First thing up is approval of the minutes of January 7th. And I know that our Department of Transportation person had a change. I don't know if that took place on this copy. Okay, because I didn't know how the timing worked out. Okay, because I was reading them last night, but I wouldn't have really known what was, yeah, okay. All right, very good. Can I have a motion? Any changes, any comments? Okay, Sandy, roll call, please.
Yes.
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 Yes. I don't have any old business, new business. Number one, confirming award of contract to Marketing Specialist Corporation, led on January 15th, 2025, countywide reflective pavement markings. All districts.
Motion Bauer. Second.
Any questions? Can I have a previous roll?
Second, Revis.
All in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? All right, motion passes. Number two, confirming award of contract to Van Mack Electric Company, $1,609,999. They should have charged us the extra dollar. But anyway, led on January 15th, 2025, Weber Road, County Highway 88 from Lily-Cache to Root Street, traffic signal modernization, County Board Districts 5, 9, and 11. I just want to say a little bit about this because I read it and I was like, what is this really? We had talked about this a while back, modernizing how we update or upgrade signals. Right now, we hear about a problem or see a problem, we come out, we look at it, we go back, we figure out what we got to change, then we send another crew out to change whatever is in that box that controls that light. And I'm explaining this in easy language. Now, once we do this, we put some stuff at our headquarters and stuff in each of these locations, and they can do everything, manipulate it all right from the DOT office. So it's less manpower, less time between identifying a problem and then fixing the problem. So it is modernization. Any other questions? Can I get a second?
Previous, Revis. Second.
All in favor? Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Number three, authorizing an intergovernmental agreement between the Village of Plainfield and the County of Will for maintenance and energy of a traffic signal at the intersection of Renwick Road, County Highway 36, and Boulevard Place in the County of Will, County Board District 8.
Motion Bauer.
Second, Revis. Second.
All those in favor? And those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. I didn't recognize Boulevard Place, and I should have pulled up the map last night. What's over there?
Costco.
Oh, that is Costco?
Yeah.
Oh, that's the end of Costco. Okay, I've never been in the parking lot. Thank you. I've seen the building, know right where it is, but never been in the parking lot. Didn't know it went out on Renwick. Ah.
I think people are using it as a pass through.
A cut through.
Yeah.
Yeah, not a shock. People have no time. Number four, rescinding resolution 24-304 and authorizing approval of a Metra agreement to pay design and engineering costs associated with the at-grade railroad crossing improvements on Gauger Road, County Highway 52, north of US Route 30, section 19-00154-18-PV, County Board Districts 2 and 5. Jeff, would, go ahead, finish.
Oh, no, go ahead. I just go on.
I just want you to talk about it a little bit. That's all. This is kind of a big deal. 11? Maybe. Oh, I gotta hit the other button. Okay, look at
There
there.
we go.
Technology.
Good morning, Chairman and Committee. A couple months ago, we did pass this agreement already for our participation. Well, Metra, they have to adjust their railroad tracks at Gallagher and Route 30 when we do our intersection improvements. So there's costs involved that we're responsible to reimburse for. Namely, the engineering costs, the construction costs will come in a different agreement. So that's what that agreement did. It laid out what those costs were and our responsibility to do that. So we executed that. And then Metra came back and saying, well, actually, we use this agreement now and not this other one. So to appease them, our commitments are exactly the same. It's just some verbiage stuff that doesn't really impact us. So we're just executing a new agreement, but with the same parameters as far as the county is concerned.
Thank you, Jeff. All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Number 5, authorizing approval of the establishment of an extended speed zone 622 along Cherry Hill Road, County Highway 86, County Board District 2 and 6.
Discussion?
Yep.
I just.
Absolutely.
So I guess this is more directed towards Jeff, but so obviously we're changing the speed zone here. Is there like a timeline or some process, maybe not timeline, where we look at the speed zones on all our county roadways to like reevaluate them? Or is it an as need basis? Like, we should, make an adjustment because of these reasons specifically or anything like that? Or how does this come about?
Yeah, there's not an annual review of all the zones or anything like that. It's more of a as needed basis, or we hear of more congestion in a certain area, or we look at, or oftentimes it's because people are speeding and they think us doing a speed study is going to change the speed limit, which is actually kind of the opposite, because if they're speeding, they're already violating the speed limit. So you can't lower it just because of that. So it's a common misconception. But I think just last year or 2 years, we did go through most of them because we wanted our curb and gutter sections actually have to be 45 or less when you have curb and gutter right next to the road like that. So we actually did a review the last 2 years, I believe. But no, it's not an annual thing. But if there's some area that you're aware of where you think the speed limit doesn't make sense, we can do a speed study and see if maybe conditions have changed. It is kind of rare, though, that people drive slower to where we're able to do that, but it does happen. Like this instance here, the very north half, probably 1,000 feet, has curb and gutter. So that area is already 45. But the rest of the road, which is only less than half a mile, is 55. So we debated back and forth. Does it make sense to make it all 45? And in this case, we did the speed study and it does make sense.
Understood. Thank you.
Good information. I did not know that we had like a rule about curb and gutter and maximum speed.
It's the IDOT design standard. Yep.
Could be. Learned something new. Okay, all those in favor? Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Number 6, rescinding resolution 24-180 and authorizing the county executive to execute an intergovernmental agreement providing for membership in the Illinois Public Works Mutual Aid Network. Questions? Any questions? All those in favor say aye. Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. I don't have any other new business. Yes. Oh, boy. Jeez, oh, Pete, you're number 15, but you don't show up in the list. Oh, there you go. Okay.
Thank you, Chair Trenier. I may have missed old business, but I guess this could come under new business. And Jeff, this is a question for you. I know about a month or two ago, we discussed Route 53 in Manhattan Arsenal Road, adding a turn lane. I believe this committee said, you reported to the committee that IDOT would take care of that project for us.
Mhm.
I had heard a rumor over the weekend that IDOT has not even put it in their 5-year plan, and I believe the residents are interested in getting it done a lot quicker than that. My question is, do you know that to be true, that it is pushed back that far? And if so, is there an opportunity for this county to take the lead on the project and then ask for reimbursement in the future?
So when they reported to me a month or two ago that they were taking the project, it alluded to the mid-years of their plan. They would include it, their mid-years of their multi-year plan. I have since asked for an update on that because they're finishing up the phase one of the whole corridor. And then they'll break up to pieces after that. So I was wanting that exact answer as to when in the multi-year plan will they be doing it. They can add stuff in the plan at any time, just like we do. In June, we add stuff new in the plan. Doesn't mean it's going to go at the very back end. It just depends on how things work out time-wise. I don't have that answer yet, but I will ask again. It's probably been a week or so since I sent that email. So I'll ask that to see where they're at. The indication I'd gotten is that they were going to lead, and having us be the lead wouldn't get it done any faster just because of reviews with them. They know it's a priority, but if I get a response back that they don't feel it's quite the priority that we want, maybe I'll invite a couple of you to join me in a discussion with them and express our desire to get it done as quick as possible. But I don't have that answer, that response back yet, but I will try again and see and report back to you what I find out.
I have another question too, but I'll save it for afterwards, one-on-one. It's not a county highway situation. So if you want to talk about anything under the director's transportation discussion?
Yes, we have 4 informational items today. I'm gonna make sure I get my notes here first. Forget Joe's comment there. 4 informational items today for you. One is just, I think you may have already seen the press release regarding the $27 million that the county received for the Gallagher Road over CN crossing. There's the posting there, so it's at your fingertips there. We applied for and were awarded $27 additional million for this grade separation. It's over $50 million worth of work still yet to be spent, so this is a very good chunk.
Is this related at all to item number 4?
Not
That's
necessarily.
The same location?
Well, 4 covers, that one covers all projects we've ever done and dreamed of.
No, she's talking about 4 in the other
Oh,
part.
up above?
In the resolution,
Oh, up above, let me see.
24-304, the one where we're sitting?
No, the Metro crossing at Route 30 is about a mile, 2 miles north of there.
Okay, thank you.
Same road.
It's not my neighborhood, and
Yep.
I know it's the same road, so.
Yeah.
But it
So-
wouldn't affect it in any way.
Yeah.
Okay.
Further south by the Lincoln Way School, actually, you can see it in the background of the picture. That's also attached to the agenda, I believe. So with that 27 million plus the 18 million we have already received from grade crossing protection funds, we are very unfortunate to get a lot of federal dollars for this. A lot of people supported it. Executive's office, county board members, various people have supported this project over the years, and it's going to be a good project when it's done. So that's just a notice there of that additional funding. Any questions on that before I move on?
I think number 6 has a question. All right, I'm going to try to do that.
Thanks. I didn't want to have to ask, but I have to ask. Is there any worry that this grant, this federal grant could go away?
Oh, yeah, I was already thinking
Because
it.
it's a grant and it's a thing. So is there any worries that this could go away?
Well, until you have a signed document, I think you always have that worry.
Okay.
But we're told from the state of Illinois, I have a memo from them that all the transportation dollars are moving forward as planned
Okay.
so it's not really, this isn't necessarily the discretionary level of things that seem to be analyzed, being looked at very hard by that memo that said cancel or pause everything.
I have to.
So-
worry. So,
I'm in with Member Freeman. I mean, I've heard that if you're considered a sanctuary state, they're going to cut off all your funding. I'm just saying.
well, I don't know that. I just want to be sure.
No, I
that
don't know
you
it
have
either.
It in that we're okay. That's what I wanted.
I am mostly confident, and again, until I see the dotted line signed, I can't say that, but
Anything.
these transportation dollars of this nature, especially for safety, have not been discussed as being in jeopardy.
Okay. Thank you.
Any other questions? Number 8. I'm trying. Okay. Yeah,
Thanks. Hey, Jeff, I was just wondering, I know that this road improvement here is going to be right near the Soil and Water Conservation District and NRCS office. What's the plan for there? Because I know I was speaking a little bit to my husband who's on the board, and they're pretty concerned with how much land you guys will have to take and then how much higher is this road gonna be there?
In front of the soil and water, I don't know that answer. Eric, do you happen to have an idea? I mean, cause like 2 feet, 5 feet, or
Probably 6 or 7 feet higher.
Okay.
There will be, it's not gonna be a normal embankment across there, it'll be stabilized wall.
can you come up?
Oh, yeah, sorry, you have to
Can you
come
come
up.
up?
I'm sorry.
Sorry.
in short, the same access will
You can
be,
turn on number 10, maybe, but I'm not sure. You got to press the button, I think.
or you just use this one.
There we go.
I apologize. It will be probably about 6 or 7 feet taller than the existing because we're coming off of the bridge and coming down. I know we have to, because your entrance is right across from Lincoln Way West. And so they're going to match in, and I believe that's what I remember from looking at the design.
But we can go back to the plans back in the office at another time and provide greater detail on that.
That'd be,
I mean, we have-
that'd
But
be
in,
great.
in short, the access points stay where they are and they're still gonna have the same amount of access.
Oh, they will?
Yeah.
Okay, I wasn't sure. He wasn't sure about that either, so, okay, I'd like, yeah, if we can look at it more in detail, be great, thank you.
And while we're on this topic, will it be wide enough to include pedestrian access? I know there's not many people out there now, but there is a huge subdivision there at the corner of 52 and Gauger. I think it's, Laraway, sorry. I think it's Laraway,
Laraway.
Gauger. And I'm sure more houses are coming.
We are working with the Village of New Lenox, and there will be on the east side of Gouger Road, a 10-foot multi-use path. And then on the east or west side, there will be a 5-foot sidewalk. So there will be both types of pedestrian and non-motorized vehicle accommodations across the Great Separation
It's
Bridge.
fantastic, way better than what we got on Weber Road at the end. All right.
Yep.
And now I have number 13, Member Hickey. Now, if I can make this thing work, but I don't know what I did. It doesn't want to scoot. Oh, here we go.
There we go.
Yeah.
Hi. With the 27 million in federal dollars, pardon me, but how does it work? Do you get like just a check or do you submit for work that's been completed?
It depends on the dollars you receive. Most of the time, this federal dollars are taken off the top. IDOT does the project and then they take that money off the top. But in this case, we've never received one like this. I don't know that it goes through the state the same way. It could be like the 18 million grade crossing protection funds I mentioned. We actually have to spend it and get reimbursed.
Right.
So that might be this way. We don't know that for sure because this is the first time we've gotten this grant. But either way, we'll cover the cost and get it back, or we'll take it right off the top. Until we get to the construction contract, I'm not entirely sure how that works yet, but
Okay. Thank you.
Any other questions? Okay, I think we can go on to the next topic. then.
all right. Item 2 is also just an update. IDOT provided me and anyone who ever is on their subscription list. This update is kind of just their 2024 summary of what they have done on I-80. A lot of work has been done this year. If you drive through there, you'll see that. They list a number of things that they have done. And then at the bottom, they kind of give a timeline to finish out the project. Namely, working on those big bridges in 2026 and finishing the whole project by 2029 is their current goal. So if you really want any details on the project, they have the website that you can go to and look around for all kinds of different information.
Jeff, you go to the website news_I-80 Will Project. Is that where you go to get subscribed?
I
Because
believe so.
I'm not on their list, and I've looked at their sites before, looking for information on 53 and 55.
Yeah, there should be, when you get to that website, there should be like a contact or
Okay.
contact button or something.
All right, because I'm not on there and I'd like to be. Thank you.
All right, item 3. Spend a little more time on this one. So if Tim, if you could bring that one up. This is what I alluded to last month that we do on a annual basis. We kind of give you a mid year snapshot of what the multi-year plan is looking like. I know on your agendas, you always get monthly work reports of construction and phase two reports like that, but this is just a very high level snapshot of what all our jobs are that are in the multi-year plan. And they're broken down by year as you see going down. So it's just so you have this and to understand, the projects are obviously listed on the left. That's pretty self-explanatory. But if you want the full description of what that project is, you can get it from the full, 49-page document that has the full list in there. The next column over, it says why, and that just tells you if the job is federally eligible or not. So those are jobs that we can pursue federal dollars for. It's just information there. And then the project status, again, is just telling you what state that particular project is in from a phase perspective, whether it's in preliminary design, phase two, which is design or construction.
Can you add, because we do have a couple new members, what order things go in? I mean, I believe it's phase one, phase two, and then the construction.
Yes.
Is that correct? I want to make sure
it does.
that all our members are.
Yeah,
aware.
phase one, preliminary engineering is first, phase two, which is our design and land acquisition, is second, and then construction is phase three. And that is actually spelled out on the fourth document, which I can add to next year's for this one. It lists what those phases are. I mean, that's in that 49-page document as well, but it's not on this particular document. So if you need to know what those phases are, we can add that in there.
Can you also put a column in here for what district it's in? Is that possible? I know you got a lot of columns on this page already. Or is that in the larger document?
Multi-year document, I'm trying to think if it is or not. It's in the fourth document I have down here, but we can add that in. I'm sure we can.
You know what?
If you don't mind squinting a little more as we make the
Yeah,
text a little smaller.
I see it's in the 2030.
I do get what you're saying, though. The county board district would be helpful there.
But I always wonder if we've updated the districts, but I think we have, because I don't see anything above an 11, so.
Well, yeah, it would just be the numbers, but sometimes we have like 3 or 4 county board districts in the same
Yeah.
project. The next set in the middle is just the funding sources. I think it's to split out of the funding, whether it's federal, us, or other, and the total cost. And these are just construction dollars here. I'm not talking about design or land act. These are just construction. And then on the very right is just land acquisition status. We're getting land acquisition, how many parcels that project requires, and whether any of them have gone to court in condemnation. There's a number there in parentheses there. Then the far right is how long we have actually been negotiating or in court over this particular project. And some of them are quite long.
7
Yeah.
years.
And
a
that
long
one has some unique circumstances with COVID and whatnot, but
Yeah, that's true.
it's a long process. It only takes one property owner to kind of slow things down a little bit.
Or one utility.
So that, again, this is just a snapshot. If you ever need particulars on any of these projects, email me, call me, and we can get you more information. But this is kind of a resource for you to go back and see where any particular project is at without having to go through that large document. So if you scroll down on the second page, this segment, MYB, some of you might not know what that is, multi-year B. So those are the projects, the construction of the projects that are related to projects up above. They're just not included in the current 5-year plan. So they'll be subsequent to the 5-year plan that we have now. So the intent is to continue those and bring them into the plan as we have more funding or they become available. So that's what that list there is.
Go ahead, Vice Chairman.
So with Wilmington Peatone Road, I received a call from someone who lives off of there, and they basically gave me the idea that, since everybody out that way is on propane, what would be the thought of getting like natural gas lines done at the same time that the road was expanded? Is that something that is a possibility that we could take into consideration? And just like you were saying, that hasn't even started yet. So
Yeah, how an individual property owner gets their gas, propane, otherwise is a non-transportation item. We would not be involved in that. If NICOR or any other people want to put in something like that, we'll make sure we accommodate that to some degree, but utilities come in by permit, so they'd have to go through us to get permit. But no, that's not something we pursue on a transportation side.
understood. Thank you.
And then underneath all that text below is just kind of a list of where we have applied for federal dollars. So you can see we've been aggressive with various projects and trying to get different awards, unsuccessful sometimes, but the ones in bold are the most recent ones that we were awarded, which again, as you see there, Gauger got 12 million and then increased to 18 million, and we got the recent 27 million. Laraway Road got 7 million in 22, and Laraway Cherry Hill got another 5 million also in 23. So those are the kind of a rundown of where some of our efforts have been. And then at the bottom is just a shortcut to our project's website, which I think I had also attached. This is something we newly created as a result of some discussions last month, which leads to the fourth item at the agenda. But on our website, we now have a list of all our design projects in a tabular form with other website links are there. So anyone can go there and pick the website and see what's going on with that project. Now, not every project has its own dedicated website, which you see a project PDF there. They're old or this just has never been included. So we have a one-page PDF document you can click, and it kind of gives a brief summary of what that project is at, where it's at, and what's entailed. So hopefully people will find that more helpful. Within the next month, we are also going to initiate a more interactive map that will have these on an interactive map. Also on our website is a construction one already. We already have an interactive one. You can, zoom around the county and see what construction projects are going on. You can click on it. This will have the same feel. We're just working with IT to make that happen. So hopefully with these efforts, things will be a little more transparent. So any other questions on that aspect?
The slideshow you had up just prior to the list of projects and the links, this one. I swear I didn't see that one. I've seen, there's like 6 attachments here. Which specific attachment is that?
The project websites, that's the one you're talking about?
Okay, I was in the wrong section. I was looking at all the different ones under number 4 last night. I must have missed this one. Okay, got it. Thank you.
All right. Then we'll move. Yep.
Thank you. Thank you. Hey, Jeff, I just wanted to ask a question. So obviously Peatone Wilmington is my district. And I'm just wondering, I know you guys had the public hearings and everything. Where can I go to see how many people submitted public comment and what those comments are? Do we have that anywhere?
We have a summary document of all the public comments that lists how many were received. So I'm not sure that document's done yet, but I will look to see if it is. And
Okay.
if not, I can get that to you.
Thank you. Ms. Steve had a.
Member Balich?
Yeah, you have 2 projects going on 143rd Street, and there's a lawsuit still pending. So my question is, I know no one's told you directly to stop, so every time we voted for stopping it, it was vetoed. And the question for me is, we're spending money on these phases, and you're done with both phases, and phase 2, now you go to the next one. What happens if the judge rules that you can't do the project? Because this has been over a year. It'd be a year in March. And it's not going anywhere at all. Every time, the judge keeps continuing. So, this is a lot of money we're spending, and it may not even happen. So what happens if this road stops? Because I don't, our side thinks it's going to get stopped, and the county side thinks it's okay. And so you're like in the middle. So what, if you're going to keep going because no one can tell you to stop, because our board is not, we voted to stop it, but it was overruled with a veto. So where are we at with that? We're going to keep continuing, and then what
Member
happens?
Balich, I think he catches your point. He can answer.
Yeah, I can give you I think a pretty clear answer is the design, as we mentioned, I think previously, I think Board Member Oxley might have asked me, that design is done, so we're not spending any money there. So there's nothing we're spending there. We wouldn't spend money again until we update the plans to whenever we do go to construction. So we're not doing anything there. Land acquisition is continuing, but we obviously are not buying too many. Not too many people are coming to the table for reasons you mentioned. So not a lot of money is being spent there. That's the only money being spent. I think we only have maybe 10 parcels is where we're at. So we don't have too many. So we wouldn't be going to construction, which is the big dollars you're referring to, until we have all the land act. So until we have all the land act, there is no construction. So we're not spending any money other than acquiring right-of-way parcels. And then we won't spend money on the construction until we have the land act, and then the county board approves the construction contract. So whenever that might be, a year or two from years, if things
Could
go
take
certain ways.
24 months, could take
As you saw in that
24
list,
years.
court cases can take quite a long time.
I think
So,
it was 7 for
we're-
the,
yeah, so really, we're not spending a lot of money right now.
Well, I'm just,
Because we are,
Yeah.
until people know if this court case goes one way or another, some people are just not talking. So
what happens to people that sell their land to the county and then the road doesn't happen? The county still owns the land, right?
yes, the county would still own the land. Yep.
absolutely.
Yep.
You know,
Once
so
you
then
pay
you
for
could,
it, you own it.
you could do whatever you want with that
Mhm.
land, not that you're gonna build a big factory or something, because it's not that big, but the county could do whatever they wanted with it, correct?
Well, we would hold it in trust until the time when the people feel the road is warranted, even though I will say over and over again, traffic studies show it is warranted. So at some point, it will get to a point where everyone will think it's needed.
Mhm.
So we will have it in place.
And we'll have some of the land at today's prices instead of the
That's true, too.
prices of 20 years from now or 5 years from
Yeah.
now.
Can I say one more thing?
Yeah, member.
So-
Ogalla.
So one thing that happens, and Jeff can explain it, like I live on Will Center Road, and when there is a new purchase of property on that road, our easement is right, what is it right now, 60 feet?
Yeah, it's probably 33 foot half or something. Yeah, probably
33,
66 feet total.
But when somebody gets a new parcel and they want to have a driveway put in, what happens then typically? You could explain to them.
Typically, if it's commercial, they'll dedicate the right of way we need for future purposes, 60 feet usually. But if it's a home or a farm, which the board changed a couple years ago, there is no additional right of way secured.
Oh, we're not taking anymore. The
No.
one time we used to.
We
right?
used to, absolutely. Up until I think the last couple years, I think that's when that was brought forward, an
Okay.
ordinance to change that.
Yeah, because out by us, there's, if you look at it, the easement goes like this.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
As the rule change.
Okay.
Yep.
Go ahead.
All right. The last item is another list of attachments.
Ones I looked at last night.
Yes. So this was a request last year to give a status update on our long-range plan projects. So we have pretty much on the books now 3 different long-range plans, the 2020, 2030, 2040. We're working on our 2050. So if you see the 2020 plan here, it was actually approved back in 2000. So this goes back quite a few years. So what this chart does, it pulls out the listed projects in that particular plan and then gives you what happened to those projects. So you can see for Bell Road, widen to 4 lanes between 7 and Cook County. That's what was called out in the 2020 plan. And then if they had public meetings, we put in parentheses there or either on the right side when they were. It gives you the board district it's in. It gives you the status of the project. You know, that's a long segment. So we had to break that project down to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 segments, which you can see there. So each segment has a different time it was done. The southern part was done phase 1 in 2001. Designed and start till 2013, constructed in 22 and is currently under construction now. So you can find out every segment of that particular corridor is listed there. And it goes on and on. And then the 2030 plan has the same thing. And the 2040 has its own chart. But if you scroll down, I'm sorry, before I get off that, you guys can go through the charts individually at your leisure. But if you keep scrolling down to the information at the bottom, there's the phase 1, 2, and 3 described, and that is just pulled out of our multi-year plan. So you know what a phase 1, a phase 2, and a phase 3 is. So that little note is what's on the headings at the top of the table. So you just go down there and look at that.
Thank you for bringing that up again. Now they know where to find it.
Yep. And then, of course, the website address for those particular projects are listed there. And then you can go to the main website to get all the rest of them. But not every project we're doing now is in this plan. There's a couple projects in there that were listed that were never warranted, so we never pursued it. So some instances like that. Again, this is broken down for 2020, 2030, and then our most recent 2040 plan. I have a spreadsheet for both of those. So hopefully, again, just like a one-stop shop summary of where those projects are at, if anyone should ask.
Save this page.
Save this page, yes. So if there was other information anyone was looking for related to that, we can obviously update that, but I believe that's what was provided and there it's at our fingertips. Any other questions?
I think not. Mary, do you have anything for us? Then following that, we have the monthly work reports. I don't know if anybody has any questions about those, comments, thank yous. Certainly, the weather's been very mild. I don't know if that's helped move things along a little faster. I would like to think so. It was 50 degrees yesterday.
Yep.
Unbelievable.
But next week it'll be 20s.
Yes. And still no snow, so. Yeah. Okay, do any committee members have any reports, questions, concerns in their areas? Mhm.
Thank you. So what Jeff put on here, all these reports, when I was the chair, I asked for this to happen because we have new board members, such as yourself, Kelly and Dave, and you are asked to vote on long-range plans all the time, but yet, you're brand new, there's tons to read. This breaks it down by county board district, so you can see what's in your district, what phase it's in. So that way, if any residents contact you, you can have a little cheat sheet here to look at, understand it, then call Jeff and say, okay, can you give me more background so you can explain it? Because as we know, the issues with 143rd Street, the projects take a long time. It can be 7 to 10 years from phase 1 to phase 2. And board members change during that time. Districts could even change during that time if it's a census change. So this is to just help us as county board members understand what's going on in our area and be able to answer any questions. And unfortunately, people don't understand when you vote on the 20, 30, 40, whatever's in there, you either vote to support the project as a whole. It's like you can't pull one thing out and say, I'm not going to support one thing. So the public will do that. They'll say, oh, you voted for it 7 times. I voted for it 7 times. This thing started back in 2000, the 2020. I mean, it's a 2020 plan, but it started in 2000. So I thought it was important. I appreciate all the time, Jeff, that you and your staff put into this because I think it's really important tool to have for us. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And I just want to say Jeff is extremely responsive. So if you send him an email, he will respond very quickly with all the information. So don't hesitate to reach out to him with any concerns. Public comment. Anybody want to come up and give some public comment? I guess not. They're shy today. I have no announcements or reports since member Ogala kind of explained everything.
Just a question for Jeff. Now that the agenda's all done.
Well, we're past that section, but I'm sure he'll stay and talk to you. Do we have any executive session?
Yes.
Nope.
You know what?
I will take a motion to adjourn.
Motion. Second.
All those in favor? Meeting's adjourned.